Good morning, my darlings. Good morning, sirloin. Are we ready to go out? Good morning, Miss Daisy. Let's go out. Are you ready? Are you ready to go out? Are you ready to go out? All right. It's open. Are you guys going out? It is cold this morning. I don't blame you. There you go, sirloin. It is cold. Are you debating? It's nice and warm in the barn. All your hay. Oh, my sweet babies. I will bring you a carrot later. Is there no water out? Do you guys need water? Because I'm hearing a lot of mooing. I know Mommy's not here, so the big one is tipped. All right, baby, come on out. I'll get water next. Let me get the chickens taken care of. Get them some food and let them out. All right, we'll get water. I'm getting it. So the big trough, they cannot reach it. So we have it just tipped over so it's not retaining water right now and getting nasty. While our dairy cow, who can drink out of the trough, is out visiting bulls at another farm. Okay, now it's for the chickens. I do not show a lot of the farm right now. As many of you are wanting to see, it's muddy and gross right now. Just because it's winter. Yesterday we were 60, today we have snow, so. Here they all come. They keep coming. They think that's everybody. There's our flock. There's everybody eating. It's so much nicer when they have, I'm coming with the water. I'm being mooed at. None of the animals really care for, and they are gonna need water too, so I gotta get out and do water next. None of them really care for the cold, except the cows. They actually do enjoy the cold. But the chickens definitely do not. The cats do not. And we got a couple eggs. But we got one acting like she might be getting broody. Really? That would be delightful if you get broody. I'm going to take these two and we'll see if she continues to get broody. That will be wonderful. Hello, darlings. I know, everybody wants to talk. Everybody's talking this morning. Hello everybody, happy Friday. Welcome back to another full day of what we're eating. So, here we go. Let's just kick it off today. Just do it real quick. Here is breakfast. Oh, and also, I started off showing you some of the animals. I've had questions about will I show what's going on outside. There was a glimpse of the animals, some of them, and yes, I will, but there's not a whole lot to show right now. We're just kind of waiting for spring, and then spring and summer, there'll be tons of outside time that we're going to share with you guys. But for right now, that's it. There's not a lot to share. Okay, my very noisy husband. Here is the look at breakfast today. Okay, so for breakfast today, on a medium heat, I'm going to cook up some oatmeal. So I have some oats. I'm I'm gonna add water, but I also have this little bit of light coconut milk that we've been using in our coffee. I had opened a can of that the other day, so I'm gonna add some of that. And I'm gonna add some water. And then I have this apple pie spice, if it'll pick it up. Just says apple pie spice. I'm gonna add some of that. It smells so good. I have 3 apples left, so I'm gonna use one of the 3 apples, and I'm just gonna dice it and put it in there as well. Okay, so there is 1 apple dice. It's actually quite a bit of apple to go into an oatmeal. We also want to add some brown sugar. Just stir this up. I'm going to add a little vanilla. And now that's starting to kind of boil. I'm going to just let this cook for just a little bit until it's nice and thick. If you wanted the apples completely soft, then you can just cook them ahead of time, or cook them before you add the oatmeal, or on the side. I've done that, and then you just add it and cook them in a little bit of butter and cinnamon and brown sugar. Then I'm going to add a little bit of butter. If you've never done that, it gives such a rich flavor. But definitely only if you have the butter. You can leave it out to make it a less expensive meal. I'm going to stir the butter in. And I'm going to add a little bit of maple syrup. So it's kind of like a brown sugar maple syrup oatmeal. And finally, a little bit of salt. And then this oatmeal is good to go. So I'm going to set that back in the back. Good. Now, I do not have any milk, a can of milk open. I do have still cans of milk, but not any open. So I'm just gonna add a little water. If you haven't done that before, if you don't have milk, you can still make really good scrambled eggs just by adding a little bit of water. I should have used a bigger bowl. I'm gonna move this over the sink. Okay, but what I'm going to do is, because I'm using water instead of milk, you could put a little oil in your pan, or a little lard would give good flavor, but I've just got the butter out, so I'm going to use a little bit of butter instead of going and getting my lard. I also have 1 slice of American cheese left. So what I'm going to do is, after I scramble the eggs, I'm just going to break it into pieces and put it on top and cover it, and that'll give a much more cheesy flavor than mixing it all in. Add all my eggs. Salt and pepper. Now I'm going to take the cheese and just kind of spread it. And let that just get melty. I'm going to move it from the heat though so it doesn't get too hot. And then we have coffee to drink and we have hot tea in the kettle is hot. So that's what we're going to have. Here is the oatmeal. I'm going to see. Okay, so here is then what breakfast is looking like. It is the oatmeal, the eggs. You can see there's cheese on everybody's eggs, which worked out perfect. And then there's 5 of us are going to eat that breakfast, and a couple just want cinnamon bread and cinnamon raisin bread because they're not big breakfast eaters. So there you go. That is our breakfast today. All right, so Charles is going to be the taste tester, and as you can see, I did not get his haircut last night. I'm going to get it done this morning. He's going to try the oatmeal for you.
I used to be a big fan of the Quaker instant oats. Apples and cinnamon was the only kind I would ever eat. That's actually better.
Oh, good, thank you. I hope it's better than Quaker instant oats.
I'm just saying.
I know. I did apple cinnamon because you guys love apple cinnamon. That's like the favorite instant oat at our house is always apple cinnamon.
That's actually really good.
And how about the eggs?
Farm fresh, baby.
That's right. Can't get any fresher than got 2 of them this morning. All right, we're going to go eat.
I'm going to eat.
All right. Next is lunch. So here was lunch. I just kind of threw it together. You'll see Charles' taste test. I'll have to tell you, this was good, but it wasn't something I would make all the time. But I still thought it turned out really good. And for just throwing something together, trying to use condiments and stuff that I have, it turned out pretty darn good. So here is what we have for lunch. Okay, for lunch today, I'm gonna start by boiling some elbow macaroni, because we have tons of it, and I need to use a little bit of that. Okay, I'm going to bring that to a boil. It does just take a little bit longer for the water to boil, but it's not necessarily necessary to boil your water and then add your pasta. A lot of times I just do it this way because then I just don't have to forget about it or worry about it. I can just kind of forget about it. So there is some salted water with the pasta. Then in the pan over here, we're going to make what we're going to put with the pasta. So I'm going to just kind of put that on high. And I have quite a bit of ground beef out. I got that out for making Luke's stuff yesterday. So I'm just going to add some of that to the pan. That's probably enough, then I still can make maybe another pasta dish with this tomorrow. So I'm just going to mash this up. Again, to using stuff up in my pantry, I have some water chestnuts here, and I have these baby carrots. And let's see, This one expires on 4/23. This one is Best By April 17, 2024. So I got still plenty of time on those. So I'm gonna add these to what we're making today. I have some of this ginger puree in my fridge that needs used up. So I'm gonna add some of this. Make sure. Well, it looks like that rubbed off. It's awesome. Alright, so I'm gonna add a little ginger puree. I'm also gonna add some garlic. And then I have some hoisin sauce in my fridge. Again, I'm just kind of using up what we have already. So I'm gonna add some hoisin sauce. I've got soy sauce. I'm gonna add that. I'm gonna add some brown sugar. I also have some of these chives that I had froze from when we grew them this last summer. I'm gonna get a handful of that. I'm gonna add a can of the baby corn. Can of the water chestnuts. I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of flour to help this just thicken up a little bit. Alright, so the noodles are done. I'm just going to drain this real quick. And then I'm going to add this mixture to it. And stir that all up. And this becomes our concoction, some kind of Asian noodle concoction. But I've already had people coming down saying it smells so good down here. So I will get Charles come be a taste tester. And you guys can see, I'm sure it's going to be wonderful. Okay. So here it is. I'm just going to top it with a little bit of sesame seeds and a little bit more of the green onion. That is our lunch. Alright, so you're hearing that in the background. He came down to taste.
With my shorter hair.
Yes. Haircut accomplished. Alright, let's see.
Well, that was hot.
Yeah, it is hot. I made like an Asian twist with noodles.
It's got a good flavor. It's just really hot. It's good. It's not spicy. It's kind of sweet. Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah. I think it'll even be better when it's about 5 degrees cooler. But no, I think it's really good.
Alright, good. Alright, so that brings us now to dinner. You guys, it is 4:24. Oh, and I showed you making the refried beans. I forgot to show that. So here is me making the refried beans. I made them this morning. So here's that real quick because that's gonna go with dinner. All right, and here it is only 11:30. We got running to do with some occupational therapy today for Luke. So I soaked a bunch of beans last night. I'm gonna drain this and then we're gonna make the refried beans real quick. So here, these are just the beans, just pinto beans that I soaked all night. I'm sorry, it is so noisy here. The girls go back this weekend, so it's just everybody's wild. I'm gonna cover this with water so that when I stick my finger at the top, it comes to about my knuckle. That's how I kind of measure it. Okay. So there it is with the water in. Next, I'm gonna add a little bit of this liquid smoke. I'm gonna add some onion powder, some chili powder, some cumin. I have some garlic salt. I'm gonna add a little bit of this chicken bouillon powder, or instead of water, you could just cook it in chicken broth. I'm also gonna add some minced garlic. And then I'm just gonna kind of give it a stir. I'm gonna add a little more salt. Enchilada sauce is really good if you wanna put that in it as well. But that's it. These are super simple, full of flavor, perfect consistency, refried bean. But they're also low fat, don't call for a lot of ingredients other than spices. And that you can make as minimal as you want. Sometimes I add more, sometimes I add less spices. Now I'm just gonna put the lid on and I'm gonna cook this. Just hit pressure cook and I'm gonna cook this for an hour.
Please let me add more of it.
Under that thing right there. Under here. And that's just gonna cook. Make sure that your pressure is off. And that's it, it's that simple. Then I'll just mash it up with a immersion blender. Okay, and now while I'm waiting on Charles to come taste test, the beans are done. So I just pull it out from under my cabinets. I'm gonna just do a quick release and let that go. Okay, so this is gonna go with dinner tonight, but they need to cool off. So they'll be very runny when I first go and blend them, but then they thicken up as they sit for a while. If it's too much liquid in here and more than you like, you can easily just spoon some of the liquid out like that and just toss the liquid. If you wanted to eat it right away, I would definitely toss some of the liquid. So now I'm just gonna blend this up and it'll look more like a soup, but then I'll show you tonight. It will be perfect consistency. It's very soupy right now, but just trust me, it turns into the perfect consistency after it cools. You do want to give it a taste and make sure that you don't need any salt or any other kind of flavoring. I find salt to be the main one you need. And I don't need anything. So I'm gonna let this sit and cool off. And once it cools a little, I'll put it in containers and put it in the fridge. And here are the beans. They're still pretty runny. I set them on a cooling rack. Once they cool, I'm telling you, they're soft and they're perfect consistency. You just have to trust it. All right, next is the tortillas. I need to whip up the tortillas. Now normally, and you would try this with some guacamole, sour cream, cheese. I don't have any of that. So we're having tortillas and we're having this pork. But you guys, that pork that I made last night turned out so good. So if you want that recipe, it is going to be linked down below. Charles is going to get that all in the website for you guys. However, you need to just go watch last night's video if you want to actually see me make it. It was a crock pot recipe. It turned out wonderful. So let's make the tortillas though real quick to go with it. Okay, so the tortillas are very simple to do. I'm gonna do a double batch. So I'm gonna do 3 cups of flour. This is a half cup. Honestly, I'm gonna go on and do 4.5. Okay, there it is. Then I'm gonna add 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Okay, I'm gonna do 9 tablespoons. I'm using canola oil. Okay. And 4.5 teaspoons of baking powder. So I should have mixed the dry before I added all the oil, but I'm just gonna kind of mix that in here. And then we're gonna add our water. All right, then we're gonna add our 1.5 cups of flour. We're just gonna stir that up. Okay, then once it comes together about like that, I'm gonna just kind of flour my surface. And I'm gonna dump this on here to start kneading for a couple minutes. And I'm just gonna knead this for a few minutes until it all comes together. Okay, so after kneading this for a few minutes, I'm going to divide it into some different balls. And I'm going to let it sit for about 20 minutes. Okay, so I got about 19 out of that. You could have made them a little bit smaller and probably got 20 to 24 of them. I'm just gonna cover this and we will come back in about 20 minutes and roll them out. All right, I thought I would give you a peek into the fridge since it's been a while and now it's getting pretty empty. We got 3 dozen of our eggs here. I'm just stocking them up now so that we have them ready for people that are coming to buy. I have some orange juice, still have the wine, a little bit of coffee creamer left, and some soy milk, which we have, I think, 1 or 2 more boxes downstairs in the basement, because that's shelf stable until you open it. And then here is a little bit of pepperoni, and those, we do have some feta, we got a little bit of cream cheese. That is a Parmesan, truffle Parmesan, a couple cheese sticks, a couple like Mexican style cheese. Still have Gouda, and that's about it for cheese. Then on the shelf, we just have some different, I got an almond butter. We do have some more cottage cheese, 2 ricotta cheese. So I think I'm gonna do something with that tomorrow. Here's some of that pork. I did put some in the freezer and I have some in here. We're eating that tonight for dinner. It was very good, by the way. We did try it. I do have a chicken down here, but that's not gonna be ready to eat for about another 3 to 7 days. Some ground beef. This is it for the fresh produce in the house now. And then up here is all of my butter. So as you can see, I still have enough butter, but we're definitely going through it. And just some condiments. Okay, so for the tortillas now. Alright, so for the tortillas now, I'm gonna just put some flour down, flour my rolling pin, and I'm just gonna roll. Sticking a little. So they won't be perfect shaped like a tortilla you buy at the store because they're homemade. There's one. I'm just gonna have a couple going at a time because as I roll them, I'm just gonna go on and cook them. I'm gonna add a little olive oil to my pan. I've been asked a lot to where I get my pans. I got them on Amazon and I've had these for probably at least 6 years. So I don't even know if they have them anymore. I know they have some that look like them, but I don't know if they have this exact brand anymore. And then I'm just gonna put my tortilla in here. I did tear that one a little bit. But that's alright. The rest will cook up fine. And then here, for the pork, I'm going to put this on broil on high. This pork is very hard to get out. Okay, I'm going to put some of the pork. That's probably enough. And I'm just going to broil it like that, but I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of this fresco cheese on it. And I'm going to put this into broil while we finish the tortillas. Back to the tortillas. That one's good. Okay, so here is the dinner then. Here is the tortillas. I'll have Charles come down and try it. The beans, and I did want to show you guys. So see the consistency? That is like perfect to put into a burrito or just on the side. It's more like the consistency of beans that you get at like a Mexican restaurant. They're really, really good. And then we have our pork here. And I did cut up a little bit of cabbage because I do not have any lettuce. So we'll see. I just did a little in case nobody touches it. And then the last of our cakes from the freezer, the icing came off with this one, but carrot cake and cherry chip cake. That's the end of our freezer desserts that we made last month. So now I'll get Charles to try it for you real quick. All right, he's gonna give it a try.
I broke my tortilla.
They're misshapen, but it's okay.
It's going to be
I
misshapen
can't really
really
see
bad
it.
here in a minute.
I can't really see good.
That's really good.
How do you like the tortillas?
Very soft. I think they turned out probably better than what you get in the store. Very good.
Good. All right, folks, that's it. That's gonna wrap it up for tonight. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are. Bye, everybody.